What's up and welcome back to My Hero Academia Season 7 Episode 8. So this week I just realized MHA in the subbed version went on a break. They don't have an episode this week. So Season 7 Episode 10 comes out I guess next week. And I only realized that just now when I clicked on Episode 8 and I realized there weren't 2 episodes in front of it, there was only 1. Now that means probably in 2 weeks there's gonna be a break in the dub, I bet. But I always pray that they don't do that. Like I'm really hoping that you know, I doubt it, but I'm really hoping that the dub just continues on, because we already have a 2-week buffer, so we just get one step closer to the sub and we don't get a week break. That would be awesome. But they don't do that. I imagine because they have a 2-week buffer because they need those 2 weeks from sending the materials to make the episode, I guess. But I don't know. Look, they used to simul dub it, so I've got high expectations of them. I wish they went back to doing the dub on the same day, because those were the days where I could watch the show on the same day as the subbed people were watching the show, and so I didn't get spoilers for it. Those were the days. I mean, Delicious in Dungeon did it. Why can't these other shows do it, you know? But anyway, let's jump into this episode. I'm really excited. At the end of the last episode, we had Dabi going, "Well, you don't know my true backstory. Here's my true backstory," and then it ended. So I think we're gonna get some Dabi backstory in this episode, and maybe some Dabi and Todoroki, or Dabi and Shoto, I should say, fight properly. Maybe, I don't know. I said in the last episode, like, we've seen a lot of the Todoroki family backstory, so I wonder how much backstory there is really left to tell, because I felt like the last time we saw Dabi backstory, I thought I had all my questions answered. I didn't really need anything else. But Dabi has more to say, so let's see what he wants to say. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reactions, as well as early access exclusive videos for both this channel and my Gent Watches One Piece channel. I should just say that on my One Piece channel yesterday, I did a live stream where I was doing a collab with the YouTuber Sammy SY, and it was a really fun live stream where we were talking for like 2.5 hours or something about One Piece, and it was so much fun. So if you like those sorts of things, go over and check it out. We played a lot of games. There was parts of it that were very strange and funny and great, so go check that out. The VOD should be on my Gent Watches One Piece channel. Anyway, let's jump into this. This is Season 7, Episode 8 of My Hero Academia.
It's fairly obvious. There are suddenly fewer guards roaming the halls.
Oh, this is Shigaraki?
This day is a culmination of warped seeds that were worthy of becoming his new vessel.
Oh no. What a scumbag. Oh shit, that's a cool visual.
Never go out.
Okay, we're going back to him crying.
Promise me, Dad. Your
Is
next
this back
day
when he
off,
awakened the
watch
blue
me at
flames?
Sakuto Peak. Dad, why didn't you come?
Oh my god.
It's too hot. They're burning me.
Oh, that's so horrifying.
I can't stop. I don't want to die. I can't.
Oh, that's fucking horrifying. We saw his jaw melt.
No, that's not the complete picture. From the very beginning, he had everything.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. It's so weird seeing like Dabi, but with that look on his face. Like an innocent look. And seeing him without the scratchy voice as well.
Oh my gosh, Sleepyhead's awake. Mr. Sunny.
Where am I? I don't...
Okay, there's the scratchy voice.
Look, this is our home, silly. You've been asleep a while.
Is that Brittany Karbowski?
3 years. He told me about you when he was showing me around. I'm kind of new here myself.
Aww.
What? Wow. I gotta get home.
Aww.
You can't do that, Sonny. I'm sure you'll
You
feel...
don't understand. I have to go. I have to find Dad.
It's so interesting hearing
He
Dabi
probably didn't come that day because
sound
he was
like
stuck
this.
doing hero work. I didn't say some terrible things before. So I need to tell Mom I'm sorry.
Oh,
And I'll show Dad what I can do.
he was so full of
And you
hope
see-
still.
Injuries.
Your organs were severely damaged and your senses are now dulled, including your sense of pain.
Yeah.
On top of that, but alas, our best efforts proved futile.
He was so positive, and then All For One just brings him down. Like, purposefully driving him deeper into
Poor
despair.
thing. It's your family or train your body here with us.
It's so manipulative.
Shut up. Who are you to think you have the right, huh?
Oh,
Learn
Calm
from
down, son. We're your friends.
Shut up!
look at
Back
this
off!
fucking sunflower, dude.
Don't you touch me!
Oh my god! I guess no more
It's too
sunflower,
late for us
dude.
to bring him into the fold. We cannot comprehend what that unstable fiend is capable of.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
That's true.
Figured body shouldn't have lasted more than a month after he woke,
Oh.
but he proved to be a medical marvel.
Jesus.
Right now, I'm going by Dabi.
You can't imagine how surprised I was when the broker brought him to us.
Damn, yeah. I guess
Why
I didn't
did
think
he
about
return?
that.
What's more,
I didn't think about the
how
fact that he
was
came
still
back.
breathing?
So I got a pretty good idea what you wanted me for. Why you went through so much trouble. Perfect place to hold my funeral.
Oh god.
One glance from him told me everything I needed to know about his story.
That
His
he's
body
fucked
was
up.
ready to
Oh.
embrace death, and among the living was his bitter rage.
That fucking visual.
I wanted to see what was different. What my absence had done. The scene I walked in on told me everything I needed to know.
Oh yeah.
Nothing had changed in the 3 years I was gone. Family had forgotten about me.
Jesus.
I was a failure with no. The world turns on its head. Everything you've achieved is up in smoke.
I hate those
I didn't wanna face
sounds.
it while I was still weak. So after
Whoa.
that, I was completely focused on my flames.
Oh
I
my
felt no
god.
pain. I watched him.
Was that all of Endeavor's special moves compilation?
Whenever I saw him save
is,
an
that's
entire
funny.
city,
The demon lord had to abandon the volatile flames of this monomaniac.
Oh god.
I'll burn all that he holds dear. His suffering will be proof that I existed.
I told you I'm not gonna
I
let
love
you
Dabi
do
voice
that,
actor.
big brother!
Oh shit.
Ultimate move, Flash Fire Fist.
Yep, I remember
To
Flash
pull it
Fire
off, you have to
Fist.
dial your heat up as high as you possibly can,
And then compress
store
it.
that energy, and then finally let it rip.
Yeah.
And learned his limitations. His
Look
flames
at
burn
that
with intensity,
imagery.
creating a heat
He's
barrage.
the peak, but there's
One
another
that
peak
distorted
higher.
his own brother.
His heat's increasing at a faster rate, and he's not hesitating at all.
Now I'm feeling.
Oh, the
You may
fucking
pretend
statue
the dad
melting.
isn't around.
This ends here.
What a
I'm the one who will
visual.
Stop.
My senses dulled. I no longer had the same limits.
Oh,
It wasn't
God.
long before I could copy him. And his flash fire fist.
Oh!
You're a big All Might fan, huh, Shoto? Hell Spider!
Oh shit, that's really cool.
That's Endeavor's move.
Yep,
Bigger and sloppier.
I remember it.
It's strange.
He used it to
think
cut
I have
open
no
that
idea
building.
What kind of stuff Toya likes?
Nice job redirecting
You
it.
can't do this forever. I want to know how pathetic you look.
Shit!
Either you a barrier with the evacuees.
I wonder if we're actually gonna beat Dabi in this battle.
Dabi's brother, child of calamity.
Oh fuck, cause this is...
Dirty hero. What you?
Oh my god.
Dabi's firepower
I can talk about it
outburns
later.
Endeavors.
You're a spoiled little brat who never bothered to reach his full
Oh, he's
potential.
really letting out all his
No
rage
one
now.
told you that to your face. The family should be honest, right?
Fucking
half-baked puppet.
melting of the face.
You will never amount to chance.
Oh! He's really trying to kill Shoto, it seems like.
I doubted every decision I made.
He managed to neutralize the heat.
Damn,
Thought our
nice.
fault. Since we're being honest, it's kind of nice to know I was on your radar too. I want to show you how I turned it into something better. A move meant to stop you.
Oh, yes, please.
My abilities are the ones best suited to stop Toya.
Yeah.
Which is what I plan to do. We can stop Toya and the others if we work together.
Yeah, see,
It's the only way.
it was Shoto who insisted. It wasn't Endeavor
Call me
forcing them to
half-baked if
fight.
you want.
They're making you fight against Dabi?
Everyone, make sure you're out of the bath in 30 minutes.
If that's the case, these are the right matchups.
Oh, Deku's worried
Dabi's
about
my
it.
family's cross to bear. I'll never be the hero I want to be.
That's
why this is
so
so important.
fucking cool.
Using my power this way is how I'll stop him.
Poke his chest. It looks hot, but it's not.
Oh,
I
he's
think
balanced
it's
it
totally
perfectly.
cool.
This state's difficult to maintain. It's
Which means I'm still the superior fighter. Don't you forget that.
hot blood and cold blood then circulate through me, putting my body in a state of balance.
Wow. That's
Fire
crazy.
and ice working in harmony. You figured out a way to produce cold flames.
Despite the real reason I was born into this world.
That's really cool.
It's yours! Your quirk, not his!
What a cool application of his quirk.
Midoriya, thanks for showing me the truth.
Aww.
This is my quirk.
That's such a soft face.
No one else! I won't let you destroy any more innocent lives!
Hell yeah!
I can put up with your flames! Give me everything you've got! Maybe that'll help you cool your head!
He looks like he's in Super Saiyan mode. Like, his hair.
He's probably the most fitting opponent I'll ever face!
Yeah.
Went
Oh,
out. I'll have to start again.
shit.
In this limited superhuman society, you and I are proof of that! We're on parallel tracks! Succumb to my fire! And die!
Oh my god, the voice actor's going off.
Ended Shoto.
Oh! Jeez, guys. Good job.
I told you, kid.
Don't
Waste your
apologize.
breath. I'm nice and easy.
Yeah.
At least let me thank you! There was so much I had to learn from my classmates.
Oh. 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 Did he hit? Oh my god, the way it just like chills him.
I'll force them to.
Oh.
Please. Great glacial here.
Oh! I really like the way it just chilled him instantly. Oh. That's so cool. It just like cleanses, it literally like cleanses the battlefield. Wow. That's awesome. Oh, that was great. I really liked that episode. It's great because I mean I really like the Dabi. I mean I really like everything in this show really. So you know, take it with a grain of salt when I say like the Dabi stuff is stuff that like I care about less than some of the other stuff that's happening here, but not because it's bad or that not even because it like it doesn't click with me or anything. It does click with me. And I really like it. I just like so much of the stuff in this show so much that there has to be something that's, you know, at the lowest. And maybe it's because we've had so much Todoroki stuff in this show. But you know, it's a good thing. It means that Horikoshi's really set up this storyline properly. And done it justice. So I do really enjoy it. But because of that, I wasn't like excited for this episode necessarily. You know, I was interested in what was going to happen, but like my mind was on like I'm curious about what's going to happen with Toga. I'm curious about the fight with Shigaraki. Like that stuff is my bread and butter. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But this episode was really good because I liked the creativity of Shoto's character arc and his powers, and seeing where he's going with it. I like that in the end, or at least the end of this part of the arc. I mean, I don't know if I feel like to me this feels like a natural sort of conclusion to Dabi's reign. But you know, like in the end, it seemed like Todoroki really leaned more on his mother's side to balance the atrocities of his father's side, essentially. Like, Dabi was, like, Endeavor's biggest mistake. When, I mean, in a way, Shoto was kind of like their mother's biggest mistake, kind of, you know, in the like when she snapped, she hurt him with the boiling water and stuff. So like you see those two sort of clashing, and having that, like, Dabi has those unrelenting burning flames that is taking over the entire square. We have that image of like All Might's face melting, like, just, you know, anything left of the symbol of peace or whatever is just like literally melting away in front of them. Everyone's getting knocked out, there's buildings on fire and everything. And like, instead of Shoto like leaning towards the teachings of Endeavor and using Flash Fire Fist and like fighting the way that, you know, that Endeavor would want him to fight or whatever, he's using those teachings of Endeavor, but utilizing it through his mum's side of the quirk, which I think is really, really cool. And then it has this beautiful, like, so there was a lot of great imagery in this episode, and there was a lot of good symbolism here as well, where I really liked the fact that everything was wreathed in flames and melting and hotter than any fire in the show has ever been, and their skin was melting off. And then Shoto goes in, does his, I couldn't quite make out what the name of the move was, but uses his ice version of the Flash Fire Fist, and it cleanses the battlefield. Like, there's such a cool imagery in everything freezing, all the fires being put out. Like, Dabi's body that was like starting to melt and stuff is like retained. Like the statue that was melting is like frozen in place. Like, I really love that, where it's like you can use this ultimate incredible move to also save everything around you. And like, it's a great idea for a final move in this battle, because it just really works thematically that the final punch also ends all of the damage around them. The damage that seemed like unstoppable, it just like instantly gets rid of it all. But also, you know, there's this symbolism of like, he's also trying to literally cleanse Dabi, like fix, or not necessarily fix, but at least start to heal the wounds that the family has left on him, because he's got these horrific scars and melting faces and stitches all over his body, and he was making it worse and worse, and throughout the battle his body was just like falling off of him at different places, and with that punch Shoto actually saves his body. Like, that's the crazy thing. He knocks Dabi out, which ironically enough is the way to stop him from probably killing himself. So I think that's it's so great, it's so clever. I really, really enjoy that. It's very sad to see like early on, I mean, we genuinely, this is like All For One's main thing. There's a chance that Dabi would have gone through that horrific experience, woken up, and actually like been able to heal from that. Not necessarily physically, but emotionally, because he woke up and his thoughts were, I need to go back to my family, I need to talk to my dad, I need to apologize to my mother, like, you know, they'll want to see me again. Like, those were his first thoughts, and he was positive about it. It's possible he goes back there, they like, maybe through him Endeavor starts to see the results of his actions and starts to like treat them more with, you know, more care. Maybe a change starts to happen. That's my interpretation of the scene. I mean, you might have your own interpretations, and that's kind of it. Like, Horikoshi would probably have his own interpretations, but my interpretation of it is, if Dabi went back, if Toya went back after waking up, that might have been the way that their family doesn't go down this dark path. Or at least stops, because it was already starting to go down that dark path, at least stops and starts to heal from it. But then All For One has to open his mouth, and basically he's really good at like gaslighting people into thinking that they, you know, that there's no hope, but making it sound like other people are saying there's no hope, and I'm the only one that's on your side, you know? Like, Toya wasn't thinking about his body or how he'd be accepted or anything. And then All For One basically comes in and goes, well, you know, you're a piece of shit and you're burning and you're disgusting and your body is awful and oops, like there's no way you can ever go back, so no one would ever accept you. And man, don't they suck for that? I'll accept you, of course. They won't, but I will. You know, like, he basically gets in there as early as possible to corrupt Toya's mind and put these feelings in his head, so that when Toya actually does go back to the house, he's got this preconceived notion in his head, this little, like, fuse that's already partially lit, that now anything is going to set him off. And that's what All For One does. He sets this off. And because of the way we know All For One works, he does this on the off chance it works. He probably does this to hundreds of people. Like, just goes to a bunch of different traumatized people and just opens up that wound more and more and more. Some of them are going to bleed out and die, and some of them are going to, you know, maybe get past it and heal from it or whatever. But the remaining ones are going to come back to All For One and be, you know, like, he can do it to hundreds of people, and he's still, you know, by the end, we have, you know, a handful of people working directly under him now. But they're really, really fucked up, powerful people because of the trauma that he's inflicted on them. It's absolutely insane. And just the idea that, like, Dabi was supposed to, his body, the way it was supposed to last a month. And so they just fucking left him. They were just like, yeah, just let him go out on the street or whatever. Like, he's just gonna die soon anyway. And they didn't care. But then he survives it. And, you know, in that sort of, like, fucked up trauma brain that he's got, he goes back to them. And I didn't even think about the fact, like, I was thinking about, okay, well, yeah, All For One has been manipulating it since he was young or whatever, but I didn't think about the fact that Dabi did voluntarily show up at the League of Villains back in season 2. He shows up and says, like, hey, well, here I am to help you fuck shit up. And so he chose to come back to them after all of that time doing horrible stuff. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. But I loved it. I just loved the way this story plays out. Horikoshi is a great writer. I love him a lot. I was like, I feel like with MHA, this keeps happening to me, where I keep hearing people talk about, like, well, this is where MHA goes to shit. and it never has. Like, it continues to be, like, really high quality, consistent character arcs that I find really interesting and seem really well thought out. So I'm just trusting Horikoshi until the end. Like, if I end up if there's stuff by the end of MHA that I'm not a big fan of, that's fine. But I'm gonna let him cook. Because so far, everything he's cooked to me has been delicious. It's amazing. So anyway, that's My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 8. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. And go to Gent Watches One Piece. If you like One Piece, you can go see all of my videos over there. But thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.